mostly trailers anyway.
What is up, you beautiful
most
bastards?
trailers.
It is 11:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means only one thing: that Late Night with Take 3 is live.
Just about.
I almost butchered that. I saw the look.
That close.
Oh.
That close.
That close. It's because it's Tuesday. It's because you silly Americans celebrate Thanksgiving 5 weeks too freaking late. You should be like us in Canada. Have it in October, then you have Remembrance Day in November, and then on the 12th, you can start your Christmas celebrations. I already have Christmas students playing at home. But we have a stacked panel today. We have some intruders, we have guests, and we have Abe, who just decided to come on for shits and giggles. I'll start off with Abe first. Abe, why are you here?
Who's the intruder?
Because I don't have nothing to do.
Okay, fair enough. We also have Sandy Robinson coming off of a great hosted Full Metal Classic match over at Full Metal Media. How are we doing today, Sandy?
You said it all in one little breath there, Brooklyn. Just came off of a great Full Metal Classic match. I love it when things go like that. It's fantastic to see everybody step up and play. You know what? I'm just happy that we didn't cancel today, and we're doing the Late Night with Take 3 because I love you guys and I love hanging out with you guys on this day. So yeah.
Joining us as well today, making this return. It's very hard to talk about wrestling without having this very intelligent man in the industry himself, Hunter Chambliss. Hunter, how are we doing today?
Oh man, thank you for having me back on. And yes, we are talking wrestling, so I have to be here because I live, breathe, and shit wrestling.
That would be painful. It would really be painful.
What?
I would imagine trying to poop out a suplex. It wouldn't be that great. Speaking of poop, Cody Newberry is here. He is defending Late Night with Take 3 mini speed anime champion of the Full Metal and Multiplex. Cody, I shouldn't have to remind you again. Baseball's like it's winter. Winter is approaching here. We don't play baseball in the winter. We move on to manly sports like football and hockey.
Oh, I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Since you've been alive, Toronto hasn't been able to win. Blue Jays haven't been able to win a title. So when your team wins the World Series, you celebrate until that year is over. So that's why I'm wearing it. And literally, I can't get the image of a power bomb coming out of Hunter Chambliss's ass. That's really freaking disgusting.
I'm actually setting up a Patreon right now. It's actually a GoFundMe. It's for Cody Newberry to actually wash the Boston Red Sox T-shirt off because I don't think he's actually taken it off since they've won. He's just been wearing it for weeks and weeks, and he'll wear it until April. But
I have multiple shirts.
I'm sure you do. With that great Boston love you have. Speaking of, I don't know, bad segues. We have Matt Kearns joining us today. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing good. I was literally thought you were gonna be like, speaking of Boston love, we have Matt. New York is near Boston. I'm just here promoting the fact that I found an actual Jean-Claude Van Damme t-shirt when I was out shopping, which I was very happy for.
Nice.
Because Jean-Claude Van Damme is my favorite action hero, so that's why I'm here. Also, it's 11 o'clock. It's a Tuesday, so Vinny and Kermit are already super hungover. So the news is going to be fun.
It's technically Wednesday here. It is just after quarter after midnight here. But we also have a fellow person who was also currently in Wednesday. That is one Malcolm Goldie-Lay, news gatherer. Usually the producer man behind the scenes, but that is me today. Malcolm, how are we doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been up since 5 a.m. my time for reasons you'll find out next week. But yeah, it's been a long day.
Malcolm Goldie-Lay is also the BAMF of this week, coming in to save the day, coming on for a show at 6 a.m. his time. So he deserves a round of applause for being the BAMF of the week. Because I wouldn't get up at 6 a.m. for a show unless it was like Mark Andreyko versus William Bibiani in a Eagles match. I don't know. That'll never happen. But anyways, let's move on to a warm up game. We have added a new one into rotation, 20 questions, but we are going to go back to one of the OG ones that we have been playing, Shenanigans. So how it is going to work, I am going to name off either a movie, an actor, or an actress. If I name off a movie, the next person has to name an actor or actress that was in that movie. That person, the person next in line, will then have to name a movie that actor or actress was in. This continues until somebody cannot name a movie or an actor. Then they are eliminated. The next person will get to start fresh. The shenanigans aspect is, say if I give Sandy one of the greatest movies of all time, Anchorman, but Sandy's like, Brooklyn, I think you're full of shit. I don't think you can name another actor from Anchorman, so he can call shenanigans. If I can successfully name an actor from that movie, then they are eliminated, the person who has called shenanigans. If I can't name an actor, then that means that I am eliminated, and then the next person will get to start fresh. So the order that we have on my screen will be as follows. So I am going to ask Sandy. Sandy is going to ask Matt. Matt is going to ask Malcolm. Malcolm is going to ask Hunter. Hunter is going to ask Cody. Cody's going to ask Abe, and then it goes back to me. So, Sandy, I am going to give you Anchorman.
All right. Okay, so I have to pick an actor out of Anchorman.
Yes.
All right. Anchorman had Paul Rudd in it.
Oh, is that it? Okay,
Paul
it's just
Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Okay, this isn't like 6 Degrees. Okay,
No, this
so
isn't
now
6
I
Degrees.
just have to name any Paul Rudd movie.
Yes.
Correct.
Clueless.
Mm.
I don't know who's next. Sorry.
Malcolm.
Alicia Silverstone.
All right. Hunter.
Batman and Robin.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Terminator Genesis.
Michelle Rodriguez, but I'm probably wrong.
I'm gonna
wrong.
go with a no on that.
It's Amelia Clark is one.
Jason Clark, right?
No, it's Emilia Clarke.
And Jason Clark. No.
Is Jason Clarke? Oh yeah, he's in there too.
Yeah. You don't like it.
Brooklyn, you're out in round one.
That's fine. All right, cool. So that means Sandy. No. That means Sandy gets to start fresh.
So I get to pick a movie, right? Or no, I get to pick a player. A person.
Either.
Oh, piece of shit, Jack Courtney.
Okay.
Oh, he's in that too.
Yeah, fuck.
I feel better not getting an actor and actress from that piece of dog that was a movie.
That's true.
I like the movie.
Good
No,
on
you didn't.
All right, I'm gonna say Joaquin Phoenix.
Gladiator.
Malcolm.
Russell Crowe.
Man of Steel.
Oh, fuck. Henry Cavill. That shitty Superman.
You fuck up, Corey.
Stardust.
Back to Sandy.
Stardust.
Henry Cavill, Stardust.
Yeah, he's in that. I know. You wanna coach shenanigans? I can tell you who was in that movie.
I mean, Brooklyn's out. He can fact check. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the joys of IMDb.
Imagine if that website didn't exist.
Available on the App Store and Google Play for anybody
Hey,
who would
you want to
wonder.
sponsor us, guys? Just wait
Yeah.
for the news segment.
If you want to sponsor a show that gets maybe 50 views a show.
5, 4.
Has anybody said if he's in
I'm
there?
checking it right now. Calm your tits for 2
he's
seconds,
in.
everybody.
I know it.
Chill out.
I'm not out. He's in it.
I said chill out, not you're out.
Sorry.
Calm the fuck down.
It's like 60 degrees here and I'm cold as fuck.
He's in it. He plays Humphrey, whoever that is.
I don't know.
Here we go. So now you're Stardust.
That's on it.
All right, so the only person that I know that's in Stardust is Michelle Pfeiffer. That's it. So Michelle Pfeiffer.
All right. Scarface.
Al Pacino?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Like Frappuccino. You're good.
Devil's Advocate.
Ooh.
What the fuck?
I know one. I know one.
Keanu Reeves.
That
Yeah.
was the one.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It took me a second, but I'm like, what the hell?
Let's go with an easy one because John Wick.
Shenanigans?
Sandy's still there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's just Andy.
Never mind.
I'm actually gonna say Shenanigans on this one. I don't think he can pull another.
I can tell you one person. It's Willem Dafoe. He's in that movie. He plays that
Let's
Hitman.
check IMDb.
My God, because I haven't seen John Wick. So...
I don't think Willem Dafoe's in it.
I don't think
Yeah.
Defoe's in it.
Yeah, he plays the hitman. That
No.
was
Yeah, he plays Marcus. He is the fourth billed actor.
Jesus. God damn it.
Yeah.
That's
All
right.
right, that means that Sandy is eliminated and Matt gets to start fresh.
All right. Trying to think of a good movie to go with. Warrior.
Dolph Lundgren?
Nope.
Incorrect.
Nope. Joel Edgerton, Tom Hardy,
Nick Nolte's in that movie too.
Nick Nolte got an Oscar nomination for that. Directed
Yeah.
by Gavin
All right,
O'Connor.
so Malcolm is eliminated, which means that Hunter gets to start fresh.
Okay.
Gonna be a bitch.
Sorry, Malcolm.
Please,
Right.
be a bitch.
What?
Rush Hour.
Chris Tucker.
Ooh, there's two big ones. There's two big ones for him.
What's that movie Chris Tucker guys made?
Oh my God.
Passion of the Christ 2.
Oh
You
my
ever smoke-
god!
Babe, you
ever
can
smoke
call
one?
shenanigans.
You ever
Oh,
smoke
whoa,
one of these?
he's gonna say fucking Jackie Chan.
No, that's not how it works.
Oh whoa! I Silver Linings Playbook.
That is
Oh,
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper.
Back to Hunter.
Bradley Cooper. A Star is Born.
Lady Gaga.
She has no. She's
Don't
not
give a
even
shit.
Bradley.
I just
So
had to
then-
name an actress. You have to
so
name
then-
a movie.
Shenanigans. Shenanigans.
So do I have to name another movie with Stars Born?
Nope. You have to name
You have
another
to name
movie with
another
Lady
movie
Gaga.
starring Lady Gaga.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's the beauty of shenanigans.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
Whoa. Whoa. A fucking movie she was on.
There was definitely a couple that she was in.
Bring it on. Call it shenanigans.
No. Give me a thing.
Oh my God.
I remember he's a fucking Robert Rodriguez movie, which is terrible. Which I don't remember seeing it.
There's a lot of terrible movies.
But I remember someone plays the president. A one person plays the president. Is it
Did someone get a timer going? Because Abel literally sit here for the whole broadcast. Right?
4, 3.
Is it Machete Kills?
Yes, she was in that.
Oh!
Oh,
That's the other one. That's the other one.
Oh,
She was also in
Sin
Muppets
City.
Most Wanted and Sin City: A Dame to Kill.
God
Really?
damn. All right. So I have Machete Kills.
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Danny Trejo. Real? Can you see there?
And he's in everything, Hunter. So good that you can just think a movie.
It's
Fuck it, Spy Kids.
Yeah.
There we go. 10 points to Hunter.
The first Spy Kids.
Yeah, he's in the first 3.
Yeah,
in all of the 3
all of them.
originals.
Except for the newest reboot or whatever.
No one gives a shit.
Alexa Pinavega.
That is the incorrect pronunciation of the last name.
Okay,
it
I don't
is
know
Alexa Vega.
Okay.
Is there
Who I'm talking about?
She's now known as Pinavega.
What?
She got married. What?
Yeah.
I cannot name a movie with her on like a sequel, right?
That wasn't brought up in the rules.
There's never been a franchise tag, so
Okay, so I'm not gonna say it. So Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
She's not in that.
she's
Not
in
in
that.
that.
Not in
Not in it.
So that means that Matt gets to start fresh, and it's just Matt, Hunter, and Cody.
Who would have thought this would be the final 3?
Let's see. What do I want to go?
Who's that girl then?
Fucking her, no. I'm gonna go
Taylor
with
Dooley is who played Shark Girl.
Okay.
Lava
The-
Girl.
They
The
look
color-
like the same. Sorry.
Shut up! The Color of Money.
Nice. Did you watch it?
No, not yet. Get it.
Hunter, if there was ever a time to call shenanigans, this would now be the time.
Shenanigans.
The man openly admitted he has
Sure.
seen the movie.
Tom Cruise.
That's correct.
That is correct.
So do
What
I got Tom
happens
Cruise?
now?
No, so that means Cody gets to start fresh. Ask him
Okay.
next.
Okay.
Brooklyn totally baited Hunter into that.
Ha! Got him.
I mean, it obviously shows that you did not watch some ranking maps on top 5 sports movies when me and Sandy talk about Color of Money.
Is that a sports movie?
Sure, billiards is a sports film.
Yeah, pool.
Sport.
Billiards is not a. Yes, yeah. I have my opinion on billiards, but enough about that.
Okay, can I say mine? Thanks,
Yes.
guys. I'm going to say Rounders.
Nice.
Love that movie.
So good.
Rounders?
And that's a sport too, Brooklyn.
Well, obviously, I've lost enough money playing poker.
Okay, Cody wins. I've never heard this film, so
Oh,
Damon, Edward
Matt
Norton.
Damon,
Edward
John
Norton.
Malkovich.
never heard it. Oh,
the guy who
Sam
plays Jesus in Big Lebowski.
Was
Hey,
Matthew
His name is John Turturro. John Turturro. He's a fucking great actor.
I have never heard of this film.
Famke Janssen.
My bad. Cody wins.
What was
Hey, the
Cody?
man.
Cody, what was KGB Teddy's favorite snack?
Oreos.
Oreos.
Do you know what hand he?
Broken.
Do you know what hand he lost with on in the final hand?
Spoilers for a movie I'm probably not gonna watch.
Stop showing you.
What was that?
Full House.
No, he lost with aces whenever Matt Damon flopped the nut straight.
Yeah, I know he flopped the nuts straight, but I don't remember what he won. But it's okay.
Well,
I thought
okay.
Yeah,
it was
because
full house. I thought he had a full house.
he turned a set. He either turned or rivered a set. But anyways,
It doesn't matter.
enough about poker. One of the greatest card strategy games ever. But we are going back to something that we did a little bit ago. The first time we did this, we did it with Sandy Robinson. We wanted to highlight different people in the fan trivia community, the way they've contributed, how they joined it, and just what they enjoy about it. So today we are highlighting the only New Zealander that I know, Malcolm Goldilay. He is one of the OG badasses. If you ever need anybody on a show ever, he's probably free. From just the way I've interacted with him, doesn't like Bohemian Rhapsody though. But we're gonna let that slide
Or
for now.
Sandy.
That's correct.
He'll never give us a point in debate.
Ever.
True. All right. So Malcolm,
Malcolm, just want to say, love you, man.
Yeah, I bet.
I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Malcolm is one of the unsung heroes of the community.
He really is.
For that reason of just being available essentially whenever. I don't think the man sleeps. I think he has like a bowl of Cocoa Puffs like every 4 hours, so that he constantly has some form of sugar just to keep him awake.
It's Coke. It's Coca-Cola.
So, Malcolm, my question to you is, how were you introduced to AMC Collider, the Schmoverse, I guess, and what is it about trivia that excites you and brought you this way?
I honestly don't remember how I found Collider. I think it was more a case of I was just looking for reviews for Man of Steel. It's pretty much, I'm pretty sure it's the same way most people have been introduced to Collider. It's like they find the Man of Steel review that gets them into there. And then I joined the found out about Schmodown. Then I joined the page, and then I saw posts for the fan, as it was back then, the fan movie trivia Schmodown. Then I joined that. Does own matches, and it kind of evolved to where it is now.
All right, I'll open it up to the panel because they don't like when I ask more than one question. Cody.
It's been known in this community that you like some very oddball picks of movies, such as movie 43 and Onward and Upward, and not liking Bohemian Rhapsody. What's a movie that you like that most people don't like that is not the movie 43?
Oh my god, he likes that shit?
Leave him alone, guys.
Leave Malcolm alone.
He's a person.
I mean, there's, for me, like I do tend to like X-Men, The Last Stand, and I do like X-Men Apocalypse too. So both of those are definitely ones that could be there. But
all right, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna leave it.
You literally asked him.
I know. I just
Matt.
Don't like.
Shut your
Jesus,
mouth,
Cody. So Malcolm, given I actually don't remember this from the top 60 list, which we don't want to talk about. But what do you consider to be your favorite film of all time?
My favorite film of all time is Wizard of Oz. It's just one that's I watched when I was a kid, and there's my grandma's got home videos of me watching it with my cousin, and yeah, it's just one that's stuck with me all my life, pretty much.
That's a great choice.
All right, Abe.
How does time work in New Zealand? Like, you got so much time to be on shows that I'm just wondering, does time go slower, or is there extra hours or something in the South Hemisphere?
Well, I mean, it's like the reason I'm quite like that was when it's 2:00 in America Eastern Standard Time. It's just 8 a.m. for me. So I mean, I'm pretty. That's why I'm pretty much free anytime from it's 2 to midnight, pretty much. Like it's sort of during the day for me. I really don't do anything else. Like my job is pretty much delivering junk mail to people. But yeah,
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got any questions for Malcolm or Hunter?
All right. So Malcolm, in your opinion, who is the best pro wrestler working today?
working today.
I guess I'll just scrap that question.
No, that's fine. That's a debate. Anybody can pick it. You're good.
Working today, I'm probably going to have to say Daniel Bryan. Like every time I watch his matches, I just enjoy watching them. And I mean, you can hate me if you want, but I actually do like John Cena as well. He's one that I find very fun to watch. So
no hate at all.
Gosh.
Yeah, no hate, except for Cody.
Abe, Sandy.
All right. You live in a country that has had so many really awesome movies and TV shows being filmed there. It seems like it's like a big mecca where people like to make movies from. Have you ever had the opportunity to travel to any of these places that had any of these movies or TV shows played?
I haven't been to sort of any of the actual set locations, but I have been inside Retta Workshop where they make the miniatures and stuff. Kind of. I mean, haven't actually had the money to do the tour, but that is something I really want to do at some stage.
Nice.
Abe.
What movies make you cry?
Titanic is definitely one that I've cried, and even though I knew the ending, it's one that every time I watch it, you're never prepared for the ending. It's just, yeah.
And Matt.
There's one movie. You don't have to be like a major character in, but there's one movie. It can be new. It can be old. That you would want to like cast yourself in. What movie would that be?
For me, it'll be Deadpool, hands down.
Interesting. All right, so we are going to move on to our next topic. If you saw the hype post that I put on earlier this afternoon, we found out that Malcolm actually has something to announce. He has a press conference. While Cody shows us lewd photos of women.
Abe sent it. I'm just saying.
All right. So if you guys are not familiar with one of the greatest improv shows ever, Who's Lines It Anyway, the great Canadian Colin Mockery would play a game where he would grab a podium and he would announce to the world that he is holding a press conference. The catch was that he would never know what he was announcing, but the people interviewing him did. They would give him hints in the form of questions, and after a certain amount of time, or if the person eventually figured it out, they would stop. And it was actually pretty funny. One of my favorite games on the show. So I want to make sure that the rest of our contestants, or rest of our interviewers, know what they are asking about.
A boot.
I actually have slippers on, not boots.
I just have a question more for the host here, which is, you bring this up every time we do this. Do you only like that show because Colin Mockery was a Canadian?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
because you make sure to say he's Canadian.
Ryan Stiles, Drew Carey, Wayne Brady, Brad Sherwood, Greg Proops, Chip Eston, Kathy Greenwood, Kathy Griffin, Robin Williams was on that show. Who's on that? It was a great show.
No,
if anybody else can attest to it. So Malcolm, we're getting a bit rowdy here. No, because infomercial was. Malcolm, please call this press conference to order.
I'll be able to call this press conference to order. I'm going to ask questions now because why not? To the person in the whole Boston Red Sox paraphernalia.
Hi, this is Cody from GetTheBrooklynOutOfThisShow.com. I have a question. Why did you choose this word of all words?
It's a fun word to say, and it's definitely fun. You, the crazy Canadian-looking person.
Hi, Brooklyn Vale from the Cody Blows a Minute by the Minute.
Thank God.
Question. My question is, was this not something that we already know about? Like, I feel like this is pretty common knowledge. Why are we announcing this today?
To some people are really slow and can't pick up on hints, so I feel it's better to announce it, and then otherwise you're going to get people continue ask questions even though you've told them too many million times. Person in the blue bandana.
Yeah, hi there. This is Sandy, the Sandman Robinson from Full Metal Take 3 Times. Do you have a vendetta against the dictionary? It might seem a little odd, but I'm just wondering if you really, really hate the dictionary.
Well, I mean, they refused to put my face next to awesome, so I mean, so yeah, of course I'm going to have a vendetta against the dictionary. Person in the bloody sport t-shirt.
It's Bloodsport, not Bloody Sport. But hi, this is Matt Kearns from Cody in Brooklyn. God damn it, just need to get a room and fuck already.com. My question is, do you think that this is overplayed just a little much?
I think you broke all of us, Matt.
No.
It's definitely not as overplayed as Bohemian Rhapsody can be at times.
Oh, no.
Yes. Just get your question out already.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. Brooklyn, once again from CodyBlowsByTheMinute.net.
No.
Will your goal be to proclaim this until everybody has heard?
You know, I mean, everyone has to have heard about the bird by now, so.
Ding, 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 ding. You've got us. You were announcing that you heard that the bird is the word.
Dumbest press conference ever.
Oh.
Hey, my drink saved it.
I didn't ask a question.
Oh, it's okay. We figured
Abe.
out what it was already, Abe. I'm sorry.
What was your question, Abe?
I didn't have any, bro.
Okay, cool.
Doesn't surprise me.
Congratulations, Matt Kearns, on making me somehow laugh even harder than I did last week. I felt a little bit lightheaded with that laugh. It's been a long time since I've done even that. So we are now going to move into the news, where I probably won't laugh as hard, but you honestly never know. So, Matt, who from your closet of multiple personalities do we have today?
It's not multiple personalities. It's one guy who, just for fuck's sake, can't stop hanging out with a goddamn Muppet. Don't worry, Zadius went back to jolly old London.
Zadius? Is that his name? Is like Zadius as in Zadius Smith Z-Man?
I'm fucking fine though. It's not my cousin. It's Vinny's from Britain. He's a dick.
It seems like a weird name for a British cousin. But
you know what?
Then again,
Brooklyn. It's interesting that someone who's named after an American city is questioning names.
I am also named after two communities in Prince Edward Island. There are two communities PEI named Brooklyn.
All right, guys, let's get the drunk on here. Just to and the Muppet. Just give me a second to get them and find the news wherever I started. I mean,
oh, that was a good laugh. That was a really good laugh.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't got the laugh.
Oh my god.
Oh, Sammy's got hiccups. He's drunk.
No, my water's over on the other side of the basement. I don't want to go get it.
Oh, okay. I should probably get a drink as well. Where the fuck is Vinny?
Getting a drink.
Is the closet that big?
Well, two people got to live in it, so I mean, I guess it's that big.
But I mean,
like you flipping puppet.
That's true.
Yo, what's up, guys? Can everyone shut up?
I mean, it's good. It's good to see Vinny in person now. Like we are confined behind the walls of a profile picture, but now we get to see the real live Vinny in person. A question for you, Vinny.
Confined behind the walls of my profile picture.
Cool. Tell us the news, you piece of shit.
Oh, I'm a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Why don't you learn how to say late night with take 3 before you shit on me, okay?
Jeez. Vinny signed my petition.
Fuck yeah. I just need to learn how to write. Fuck you, Raul. What's up, guys? It's Vinny here for your Take 3 Fantasy. Oh, wait, no, you fuckers went and got that piece of shit from Fast and the Furious. Sick my job, didn't you, over there? So now I'm doing the news on the much superior show that doesn't get as many views, but that's okay. We don't really talk about that. So, first news story up, we got. Oh, this shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Rip William Goldman. He was the author of The Princess Bride. Now, I ain't never read a book, but he wrote one, so good on him. Rest in peace. Second of silence. Okay, next we got R.L. Stine. Fear Street series is being adapted. When I first read this, I first said R.L. Stine's Fear Street is being kidnapped. To which I was like, who cares about R.L. Stine? His movies were not good. Next, we got Travis Knight. Paul Fegan talks to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Or as I say, Jesus, it took you guys 3 volumes before I actually still don't give a shit about these comic book movies. Okay, speaking of that, we got trailers. First one, Once Upon a Time in Deadpool. Or as Marvel likes, or as Fox likes to call it, hey, we found a way to make our movie less funny and yet still make money from your comic book. People will go and see this shit. Also, the sequel Life Pets 2. Enough kids saw this movie. Listen, guys, I live in a closet and I get drunk with a Muppet. My parents didn't fail me enough to the ones who took enough kids to go and see the first one to get a second movie made. Also, Aquaman. Matt's hasn't shut the fuck up about this all fucking day. Lego Movie 2. Didn't know there's a Lego Movie 1. They Shall Not Grow Old. That is also called The Matt Kern Story. Next, we got YouTube and MGM debut 100 movies streaming free. And guys, guess what? Fucking Rocky 4 is one of the movies that's streaming free. Holy shit. This is amazing. I finally get to watch this shit for free when I go to the library. I just need to find where the library is. Also, oh, sweet. The story I actually like. Margot Robbie announces the full Birds of Prey title. And it's the fabulous anticipation of one Harley Quinn. That is a stupid name. But Margot Robbie's freaking hot, so you know, who gives a shit? Okay, also, now on Take 3 Trades. Oh, wait, I'm not Vin Diesel, so I don't get to talk about that, Kristen. So, guys, that's it for your Take 3 News Roundup with me, Vinny Stallone. Follow me at Vinny Stallone 76 on Twitter. You can also go fund me for my book, The Stallone Biography, being awesome throughout the years. Guys, it's freaking awesome. It's going to be a sweet book. You can also find me here every week doing the news. Sometimes my buddy Kermit will do it. It's Tuesday. He just got off hanging out with Miss Piggy, so he's super drunk right now. That's why he's not on. And Brooklyn, listen, man, before you make fun of the drunk in the closet, learn to pronounce words. Okay, see you guys around. Again, Vinny Stallone, 76.
Vinny, before you go, I have one skill testing question for you.
Yeah.
Can you spell the word library?
Yeah. Fuckyou, Brooklyn.
Okay. Good job. Okay.
Right,
I have a.
He spelled "fuck you" if you didn't know.
Okay, cool. Oh, it all makes sense now. All right. So the big news that stood out for me was the YouTube MGM thing. Sounds really interesting, but if this leads down the road that I think it's going to be, it's just going to be another Netflix or a Hulu, which has me concerned. But the other thing I think that wasn't on there that I kind of want to talk about is the Ballad of Buster Scruggs is getting some rave reviews, which is a topic that I'll talk about later. Is about these big time directors like the Coen brothers, and then like we're getting Scorsese later down the road with The Irishman. But they're these big time directors moving on to the streaming service. So we'll talk about that later. But first, I'm going to go to Malcolm. Malcolm, as the person who gathers up the news on a weekly basis, being the BAMF you are. What is the movie news that stood out to you this week?
I mean, the YouTube one is definitely an interesting one because to offer a lot of those big movies for free is really thing. I mean, whether or not they go to that length and it becomes a streaming service, I don't know, because you could always watch the movies on there. You could always pay money to rent the movies anyway. So they do still have movies that you have to rent. Yet apparently it's only in America, because I tried doing it to finally see the first Rocky, and I couldn't do it for free. So, but I mean, for me, the Lego Movie 2 trailer really looks good. I enjoyed it. But yeah.
Abe, we'll go to you next, because you're actually here longer than I anticipated you to be. What movie news stood out to you this week?
Well, I think the Travis Knight directing Guardians of the... Oh, and Pulp Fiction. Oh, that makes sense. I think that makes sense to me, because I think Pulp Fiction, with his latest movie, A Simple Favor, so he's a great director, not only in his other movies, but I love that movie. You haven't seen it this year. It's great. William Viviani agrees with me. And Travis Knight, just excited because if you saw Cuba and the Two Strings is a great movie, and it shows Paramount is confident, and Paramount is confident of Bumblebee, and then this means Ward is in Hollywood. Bumblebee is actually a great movie, so I'm excited for Bumblebee.
Yeah. Sandy, I'll go to you next. What is what is some of the movie news that stood out to you this week?
Well, Abe took mine, but I'll just jump on that one too. I like that. I think the Bumblebee movie looks fantastic. I think that they're doing it right. They're giving all the Transformers their regular skins from how we know them. So I hope it's going to be good. I hope it's a decent story. I'll touch on the Bird of Prey. I think that's bullshit. I don't think that's actually the name of the movie. There's no way that they would market that. That's just dumb. And I mean, the Lego movie too. I mean, we knew we were eventually going to get one. So yeah, everybody is awesome.
Hunter, I'll go to you next. What is some of the movie news that stood out to you this week?
I'm going to piggyback off of what Sandy was saying. This Birds of Prey movie, that cannot be the full title. Because if it is, that is fucking stupid. And this is from a DC fan, but that name is fucking stupid. But on the good side, the Aquaman trailers have been looking fantastic. I'm excited for this movie, and hopefully this is a clear upwards direction for World of DC.
All right, Abe has his hand raised. This should be good.
I just want to say it's not funny. You guys are talking about the Birds of Prey title. I don't know if you guys know, but the full title of Birdman, which is it's going to be a different
Birdman.
It's Birdman, or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. So they don't have to market it with that title. It's just like in the Birdman poster, it's just like a sentence below the title, but that's the actual title of the movie. So I don't think a long title will matter. They're just gonna market like Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Matt Kearns, because you are closer to me geography-wise. What movie news stood out to you this week?
Oh, God. I guess you guys already touched on some of the ones, but I watched that trailer for that Once Upon a Deadpool thing, and this is the thing I'm waiting for. They say clearly PG-13 multiple times. I'm still waiting for the people who are going to complain on Twitter going, why is there no cursing in a Deadpool movie? And I don't even like the Deadpool movies. I haven't even seen the second one. And I'm more just waiting to sit back with my popcorn and watch as people complain that it's just a PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2, and 2, that's PG-13. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 directors are both interesting. I'm still a little bit upset that we're not getting James Gunn to finish off his trilogy, but if that's not going to happen, these guys are... And listen, the Aquaman looks awesome. I had a wet joke, but I decided to not do it. Just cause. All right,
Matt's surprisingly falling flat on the joke. Cody, I will go to you next because you're the only person I haven't gone to yet. what is the movie news that stood out to you this week?
So yeah, Deadpool, awesome! What a great job. At least it's going to some sort of charity. But I watched the trailer and that thing fell flatter than anything else, besides the one line about Marvel. So I just don't get it. I think they could have done something else. They could have recorded. They could have filmed a different movie. Like it could. I don't know. That's a dumb idea to me. Birds of Prey. Who gives a shit? And Aquaman trailer looks good. Well, so did Wonder Woman. I have no faith until they can do a team up movie worth a damn. Solo people, cool. I'm glad, but I want to see actually team ups that actually are good. There was no woe there. That's known fact. Suicide Squad, Justice League, and Batman vs Superman are shit piles. And
you said the Wonder Woman trailer looked good. Did you mean Justice League?
No, Wonder Woman.
Sure.
Yeah.
The
movie was good.
That was a good movie.
Okay. I think the one that I want to talk to is like the author of Princess Bride, passing away. That movie is
so.
I mean, if you can just see, like, Deadpool is literally like going towards that route because that is that movie and that book are amazing. Still hold up. The lines in that are still my most quotable. That's why I'm doing a watch along of it next week. Because I think it's just it's I just they don't do comedies like that anymore, and like I think it's a perfect movie. I really do. So I would say that
to just jump off of that, I haven't read the book yet, but the movie is amazing, and just you're right, Cody. It's so quotable. I mean, I can't tell you how many times in real life to people I've said, "You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means."
I use it every time. And like I will go and work and check something like inconceivable, and I'm like, "What are you saying?" I'm like, oh my gosh, watch Princess Bride. And I love that Andre the Giant, like, even is like, like that's not what that word means. It's so funny to me. Yeah. Oh, and I can never think of the actor that does Inconceivable. What's his name?
Wallace Shawn.
Oh my gosh, him and when they go over about switching the cups back and forth is movie magic. It is movie magic. It is beautiful. It kills me every time. I've seen it probably 100 times, and I still laugh just as hard.
All right. So the
Malcolm had his hand up. You called on A, but you.
To bounce off that one for a bit. I can't quite remember what I was doing where this quote came up. I think it might have been doing like a crossword puzzle race with a friend or something, and I just said like, well, one thing you should always learn is never go into a land war in Asia. And they just looked at me as if they had like, what the hell are you on about?
I mean, it's crazy how many people have not seen The Princess Bride. Like my wife didn't see it before we got married. Like you've never seen it.
I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never watched it from start to finish.
Hold on, I just got a bunch of text messages. Well, looks like 25 just signed.
So what's? I'm sorry, Cody, but what's that website again?
Oh, there's multiple different ones. CanadaSucks.com is one. A lot of people visit that one to sign up. BrooklynIsABitch.org. That's my favorite one because you get the best memes on that one. And Brooklyn, go fuck yourself.
.ca?
It doesn't really matter.
.net.
Okay.
.net.
No, that's you guys are missing the best one. Brooklyn is a douchebag.net.
I like
that was not funny at all.
I like mine.
Well, that was
not funny at all.
You guys are knob gobblers. Just a big old bunch of knob gobblers.
Hey, language.
I got that reference.
Ha! There you go. the point of the discussion that I wanted to bring up today, it was inspired by a great episode of critically acclaimed. Blaine Bibiani and Wendy Seibold reviewed The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which was originally supposed to be a TV series, but then it got made into a movie and there's an anthology series, and now it has been moved over to Netflix. But the point of discussion I want to bring up to you guys is we have seen these bigger directors, your Coen brothers and your Scorsese's, moving into these streaming services. Abe is mouthing something, but I'm not quite sure what it is.
You missed a big one. His name is Alfonso Cuarón. He's winning the Oscar on February for Roma. You say?
Probably not.
Okay, sure. So the point of discussion I wanted to bring up is, and anybody can just chime in whenever. Why do we like moving to the streaming services? Are these streaming services going to be more profitable, or are these streaming services more so an area where you can sort of like be experimental and try out different things? Matt, I'm gonna go to you first.
Okay. So I wrote a review of the Jack Ryan Amazon series when it premiered, and something I talked about in the review was the fact that I feel like streaming services are where movies are going to move to. With the Jack Ryan series, I felt like it was more because it allowed it to focus more on characters, more time, but it's also like what you said, which is not so much the Jack Ryan series, but more like with what I think Scorsese is trying to do with The Irishman. It's just like it also allows them to be experimental and try things because you don't have to worry about ticket sales. You don't have to worry about, the weekend box office and what it's going up against. And so it allows you to do things and to try things. Like, I can't wait to see how they're going to do Pacino and De Niro de-aged. And from what it's talking about, that's going to be a long time. They're going to be de-aged. It's not going to be like a scene. I don't think he would try that in a movie. So personally, I'm kind of glad. Again, the Jack Ryan series was a real shift for me to where I was just like, this is where we should really like start to look at streaming services as the next progression of movies, because they allow you to do so much more than movies do, because there's not stuff on it, like, there is competition, but I don't know, it's just a different world right now than movies. That's just my opinion.
Cody.
Okay, so movies will never leave from the cinema. I'll just cover that one right now. I think because the box office, like Black Panther, like stuff, you still want to go do something. You still want to be out. It's just the thing. But that's the whole thing. Like, you have to be on the cutting edge floor of this. So I always felt like when TV companies, when Netflix first started as DVDs, I said one day they will stream. It's just how you have to advance. And cable TV decided just to stay where they were and stopped and didn't join the streaming game. And now they're hurting so bad. So the whole thing is why big directors are movies back in the 90s couldn't be made certain ways. You had to have things. Now you can make them for a cheaper budget and throw them out there and make it. That's why I've said this before on this show, and I'll say it again. Blumhouse is the smartest man working in Hollywood. Because if I had $10 million on hand, I would go put it on a movie, cut a creepy-ass trailer, get the buzz, and make $200-300 million off that $10 million and be set for, like, that's just the method of it. And now Netflix, instead of sitting back and saying we're going to accept movies, when House of Cards came out, they're like, okay, we have something here. And then Marvel shows and everything else. So now they're like, we have enough in the bank that we can start pulling big directors to do movies here on Netflix, where Fox, MGM, Paramount, all them would probably not give The Irishman a shot on in theaters. I wouldn't say they wouldn't de-age for the entire movie. I just think it's got to be marketable, and now they don't have to worry about certain things. So I can honestly see a lot of Oscar and stuff moving to Netflix at some point, because it's easy to get a lot of people out there, and you wouldn't have to fill the cinema because they never make a lot of money. No Oscar movie ever is like the highest grossing, or even in the top, or even in the top 30%. So I would see them transition there.
I mean, I believe Irishman is doing like the absolute bare minimum to get the Oscar attention. Like it's doing a limited release for like however many weeks. I think it's like 4 or 5. But Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, Irishman is probably going to be the biggest risk that Netflix is doing. I believe it is the highest budget that Netflix has done. So whether or not that, apparently, the Irishman is one of the higher budget thing. It's not being done on a low budget.
It's the 140 million they were spending like 6 months ago.
I know it's big budget, but I didn't know. Wow,
$140 million.
Yeah. This is one that I don't think it. Because I think like all the Netflix movies are going to the theaters. Most of them anyway are going to theaters for a limited run to get their Oscar attention. Because I'm pretty sure, Abe, you can probably correct me. Buster Scruggs was in cinemas for at least a couple of weeks, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And it is there for. I mean, I didn't like Buster Scruggs, but you can hear more of my thoughts about it on Gone with the Wind this week.
Sluggers.
But
the best show in the channel.
But I mean, look at the Cloverfield Paradox, for example.
What a steaming pile of dog shit that was. Holy fuck.
You took the words out of my mouth quite literally. There was a reason they decided not to release that to cinemas, because it was not going to make the money anyway. But yeah, I mean, you can get big directors to do something on Netflix. Like it's a cheap, but it can be most of the time it's a cheap budget, and they'll do something. It's not always going to be good. There's been a few good ones this year, because there's been the Poker King. There's been the Futile Art of something or other. The National Lampoon story, anyway. With I can't quite remember the full title. It's a long title, but yeah.
So then the point that I want to sort of go back on is that I believe it was reported recently. I forget the exact number, but Netflix is about $1 bajillion in debt. I forget if it's 20 million or 20 billion, but obviously that's a huge swing. Is it worth it company wise? Because I feel like what's happening is Netflix is like, we're giving you the budget to do what you want, but they're really like they're essentially like what they're falling back on is that like with these names coming in, we're upping the subscribers. So is that, will we see something like a paywall coming through, or am I crazy in thinking that if the reports are true and that Netflix is down that much money, considering that they're pretty fresh into doing their own like original content and movies and stuff, does anybody else think that we might see like a small paywall, like maybe $1, maybe $2?
I don't think they'll ever do a paywall. That's going to hurt them a lot more, because we're already giving them $10 if you're on the bare minimum package to use Netflix.
I'll give you this right now. Whatever Disney comes out with,
yeah, I'm paying.
No, when Disney comes out, whatever their pay structure is, Netflix will match. If it's more, they'll match. There's no question. They can't afford to lose them. The whole thing is, it happens all the time. So Apple is a $1 trillion company at this point. So I'm in the cell phone business. So when the iPhone 10 came out last year, in US it was $999, $1,000 phone. The Note 9 came out this past September, $999. We're like, okay, that's where the bare minimum of cell phones are going to stop. Nope. iPhone came out with the XS Max, $1,099. So they cross the mark. They're not going to stop if they want to make money, and if they have a good enough product out there, they'll raise it by $1, and by that many people, it will cover whatever they need to. It's progression. HBO sits at $14.99 a month US.
Yeah.
Like Netflix is still under them, and they don't even have as much content as Netflix does. So
And-
Netflix has a ceiling that they can rise to.
And Netflix has already raised their prices. Like they've already done it once. So they're going to do it again. They're going to try to stay competitive. And I mean, we're talking about streaming services. If you like the content, you're going to pay for it, because the alternative is to go back to, cable TV,
which is like $60 a month for the bare minimum.
So you're gonna my wife and I talk about this all the time. When all of the streaming services are exactly the same, like, because in Canada we don't get the Netflix that you guys do. We get a different Netflix. It doesn't have as much content as you guys do. Same with Malcolm in New Zealand. So when we can get Amazon Prime, when we can get Hulu, when we can get all of those other streaming services, you watch. I work for a telecommunications company, and I'll tell you, it's something that we diversify with. I mean, it just is. I mean, we have our own internet box that you can watch stuff for. So, I mean, that's the way of the future. Whoever said it, I think it was Matt. Matt said that this is just like radio moved to TV. This is the next progression of how we're going to absorb our content. So,
Malcolm.
Honestly, I think the thing is, there's too many movie screening services out, streaming services out there. I'm hearing myself as an echo. It's really annoying.
I am also hearing an echo. To the person who does not have headphones on, please put in headphones.
But yeah, there's too many movie streaming services out there. There needs to be sort of one. They need to come all together under a banner and just name it movies or something.
You are absolutely high. Under one banner, you don't even understand who the mouse is. The mouse will literally drive everybody out if they have a choice.
I wasn't saying it was going to happen.
To quote one of the great modern rappers, Zach Sherwin, MIC, I rock the mic properly, KEY, turning profits, I've got the key. That is a callback to Epic Rap Battles of History, Stan Lee versus
we also
versus Jim
had a saying in the movie theater business: you can cut any movie you want, but nothing from Disney. You don't fuck with the mouse.
Okay, so then I bring up this point. With raising the prices, obviously that's business. Every company ever in existence adjust for prices. At this point though, like when Sandy mentioned or whoever mentioned cable is like $60 a month or something, is it to a point now where it's like we're almost defeating the purpose? Like if you want to get all of these original contents, like all of these different channels, essentially. Now say if I'm a consumer and I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Amazon, I have Crave, and even now YouTube Premium, because they've shown success with Cobra Kai. Is it to the point now where we're almost defeating the purpose of let's do streaming stuff so that we're paying the same price as cable, which we've shot down for so long?
I wouldn't say okay, yeah.
Well, to answer your question, I don't think we're defeating the purpose because it's all about choice. So if you want Netflix originals, you can get Netflix and a Hulu for less than cable. With cable, you're spending $60, $70, $80 on channels you're probably never going to watch to begin with. It's giving you a choice of I love these original shows on Netflix, so I'm going to pay $10 a month for Netflix, and then Amazon does this, well, I'm going to get this, but I can also budget my money and get what I want when I want instead of paying $60 for half the channels I'm not going to use.
Cody.
Cable also used to do the fact that you had to lock in for a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
Like now, if I don't want Hulu 1 month, I can cancel Hulu. So for me, When Game of Thrones is not on, I don't have HBO right now. When Game of Thrones is back, I have HBO. Hulu, when different things are on, I'll cancel that back and forth. But like, if you think about it, the problem with cable is they didn't jump on the bandwagon soon enough, because your basic factor is I can get Netflix, Hulu, the WWE Network, different
Crave.
I don't do Crave. I get what you're saying. Amazon Prime. I can do all these things now in a cohesive bunch, and then still not be cable and not have to watch a freaking commercial or pay for certain rooms to have cable and ones don't. Like, it doesn't make any sense to have cable anymore.
If you were to get Crave TV for one reason and one reason only, and Sandy Robinson can testify this, Letterkenny is one of the greatest comedies of the 2010s.
We don't like comedy the same.
I love Crave TV just because Crave has every television show imaginable, and I like going back instead of me having to go out and buy it all on Blu-ray. I can see every Star Trek series that's there, right? So, or if I wanted to catch up on Breaking Bad, which I've never seen, and I've seen 2 episodes, so I can go and watch it right there. So that's what I love about Crave. HBO I love for a bunch of different reasons. They have really great content on there, but it's right. We sat there and tried to figure out the math on it, and if you added a streaming service for $10 and that's all there was, what's Disney going to charge for theirs? What's DC charging for theirs now?
14, I think. 14.
Yeah, so sooner or later you're going to be reaching, but even if you were paying the same amount that you would pay for regular cable for streaming, aren't you getting the stuff that you want instead of just a whole bunch of crap that you don't? That's the question you have to ask yourself when you're purchasing streaming services. Are you getting more benefit out of this than that?
Yeah. Okay. Before I go to Matt, I just want to ask it's just a simple question. It's a raise your hand sort of thing. Raise your hand if you don't have cable right now. If you have just me, Abe, Cody, and Hunter. So I'll go to Matt, and then I have a question. For those who don't have cable. Matt.
Well, I'm just going off of what Cody said, and I guess it also sort of is going off of what Sandy said, which is the thing about streaming services is there's a great freedom to it, which is like if there's a show you really want to watch, you can buy it for a month, watch the show, and then not pay for it. Like, I got my free month trial of YouTube Red so I could watch Cobra Kai and canceled it. And when season 2 drops, I will pay for it for a month so I could see season 2 and probably cancel again. I literally only got Amazon Prime because I wanted to see this Jack Ryan series. And then my sister just really liked it. So she's paying for it now. But regardless, I literally got it, and my plan was watch it, have it for a month, cancel it. And that's a real nice thing about it, which is you pay for what you want in a sense, which is if you just want to see this one show, this one movie, just saying, free marketing. If you want to see this soon-to-be holiday classic, The Christmas Chronicle with Kurt Russell as Santa Claus on Netflix, premiering November 22nd on Netflix only, you can buy Netflix for a month and watch Kurt Russell as Santa Claus.
Netflix isn't giving us any money to plug.
That's okay.
Neither is Kurt Russell, but he will still plug the shit out of Kurt Russell. So my question, my question, I guess, to Hunter, Cody, and Nate, and I'll sort of answer it first is what?
You have 45 questions tonight. Good Lord! I thought we were talking about wrestling. The hell! That's the only reason I'm on this show. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So my question was, what is it? Is there anything that you miss about not having cable? So for me, I'll tell you right out of the gate, the one thing that I miss is I don't have access to sports.
There's a streaming service for that.
Because when I lived in town, when I lived in town, I lived in the city. Me and my roommate would always do. We would be like, "Hey, do you want to go to pay the cable bill?" Which was literally meant, "Hey, let's go to a bar, pay $5 for a beer, so that we can watch insert sporting event here." But that's the one thing that I do miss. Like for instance, like the Olympics this year, we got to watch that free because CBC streamed it. So I just literally just plugged in the laptop to the TV. But Hunter, Abe, or Cody, is there anything that you guys miss about cable at all?
The same as you. The sports. It's the only thing. I haven't had cable like in 10 years. I don't even have a TV in my room. I can tell you that. I don't have a TV in my room. I've been thinking of buying one, and then I asked myself, you don't even watch TV, you just watch streaming services. But the sports only, and as Cody said, like I can pay for NFL if I want, but I don't because it's really expensive.
Cody.
Like, I would have cable in a heartbeat if, like, the Red Sox games were on there, but I have MLB TV, which I pay every year for a one-time fee, and I get to watch every game I possibly want. So, like, I don't really miss anything from TV. There's, like, certain channels, but then at some point it's going to pop on something. So, I really don't. I just think what is hurting more is, like, the Blu-ray sales and everything, where it used to be, like, collect the series. You want to have the series. You want to be able to go back, and now you can just pop on and pick whatever season of The Office you want and watch it whenever the hell you want. That's the luxury you have, you know? I mean, I don't really miss anything from cable. I don't miss the high bills because they were ridiculous. Yeah. When I moved out on my own and they were charging like $80 for like 150 channels I didn't watch and 4 that I actually did, it was pointless.
Alrighty, so as Cody mentioned previously, and I'm sure you saw it in the hype post and on the thumbnail, Survivor Series happened on Sunday. Some of us liked it, some of us didn't. I personally was kind of confused as to why they would squash SmackDown, but I guess that's because Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. That's a King Ross joke. Ha 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 ha. But I am going to go to the one person on the panel here that actually did not like Survivor Series. Hunter, why did you not like Survivor Series?
I wouldn't say I hated Survivor Series. I actually thought some of the matches were really good. A few that I enjoyed was Shinsuke versus Rollins. I thought was a really good match. I enjoyed the 5-on-5 Survivor Series men's match. And, of course, Lesnar and Bryan, I thought, it started off weird, and then as the match went along, it started picking up pace with Bryan getting his offense in. The one thing I had problems with was one was Raw sweeping. Like, what was the point of that? Like, you could have made it even and then had Raw win by 1 point on the last match, something like that. But another thing is it was a night of weird booking decisions, at least to me. And I'll get into more of that later on. But overall, I enjoyed the wrestling, but the things behind it, the stories behind it, didn't really make sense to me.
Cody, you have your hand raised, and I know from previous discussions that you actually really enjoyed Survivor Series. So
Survivor Series has to be one of the best pay-per-views in the past couple of years. It actually had classic storytelling in old wrestling, and they had to make some quick moves that no one really talks about. That Becky Lynch, their top person, had to be missed the pay-per-view because it couldn't be cleared for injury, and AJ Styles, so they put it on Bryan, and Bryan pulled out one of the best matches. No one's even talking about Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. That match was
a good match.
Fantastic. Rousey is literally Kurt Angle. I think Brooklyn even brought up that point. I think somebody brought it up. I don't know who brought it up to me, but like
Sanity,
maybe I don't know. Throw her into the ring and do so much well. I thought the worst match of the night was the 5 men's match. Because that was by far the most confusing match ever. But like Rollins and Nakamura was like a pure wrestling match that I've missed for so long in this sport. The weirdest match of the entire night. I don't care if they swept. At the end of the day, they need to stop saying this is the only time of year that the two brands face off. Because that's bullshit. It happens multiple times a year. All the super shows, Royal Rumble. There's many times that these people square
including every single pay-per-view now because it's still branded.
Exactly. So it's always the dumbest statement ever. That's the only match. I don't care. They didn't sweep the night because technically in the pre-show, SmackDown did win a match, but no one likes to talk about it. The weirdest match of the night was literally the Bar versus AOP, where they had a grown man stand on the ring and act like he pissed himself.
Dude, I was so pissed off because as a fan of, you know, Drake Maverick, Rockstar Spud for TNA, the fact that they just made him to a complete joke.
The team name is Authors of Pain, AOP, and the man pissed himself. It is Authors of Piss now.
Oh,
why would you do that to this team? It's terrible booking. But the overall match, I think it was great. I think it was the closest that NXT the night before could compete with on back-to-back nights. I will rewatch Survivor Series again. I think it was that good.
Malcolm, Sandy, Mr. Kearns, have any three of you watched Survivor Series, and is any other input to bring up? Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, for pretty much the same reasons that Cody mentioned, I enjoyed watching this one. I mean, the thing is, I don't get why they just discount the kickoff show personally, because it's just stupid, because it's like they say like War of Sweep Night when it technically didn't. But that aside, the booking decisions for War Sweeping, it made more sense when the follow-up to War came on, because it was more of a case to set up Stephanie McMahon going like Corbin. It set up the match that Corbin and Strowman are going to have. So basically, if I might have this wrong, if Corbin beats Braun, he becomes the full-time general manager. But if Strowman beats Corbin, then he gets the title match shot at Royal Rumble.
Corbin's relieved of his GM duties.
Yeah. So I mean, War Sweeping made sense storyline to further storyline, so it's one of those ones which it doesn't bother me after sort of the follow-up shows. And I'm pretty sure they're going to use they're going to do Charlotte versus Ronda again, or somehow they're going to turn that into a storyline where Charlotte wins the Royal Rumble, and it's going to lead to Charlotte Ronda at Mania.
I think they're going Lynch.
That's what I think.
Yeah, totally.
Abe, I'll go to you next because you had your hand raised earlier.
What?
You had your hand raised.
I was stretching.
Oh, cool. Sandy.
Technically, schmecknally. I don't give a shit what happened on the on the kickoff show. Raw, whoever's in charge, buried SmackDown. They absolutely buried them. They made their stars look weak. They made the entire show look bad. I wasn't a big fan of this pay-per-view. I will say that I was very happy to see Shinsuke come and play. I thought it was a really, really decent match. I have no idea what they're doing with him, but putting him up against Seth Rollins, that was a great match that happened there. I actually did like the Charlotte Rousey match. I didn't like how it ended. They tried to make her into the new Becky Lynch, and while Becky's on the shelf healing. I didn't like that at all. I definitely didn't like the absolute beatdown that they put on Rousey. But overall, I think the best match that I had fun watching was the Daniel Bryan Brock Lesnar match. I thought that was going to go way different than it did. And I see your freaking hand. I'm still talking. And Daniel Bryan's resiliency can't be discounted. Like, he took a ton of a beating in that match, and he was still able to, to perform really, really well. So, what the fuck?
What?
All right, go ahead, Cody. You're just breathing into your microphone.
I was cold. I'm cold.
Yeah.
it gets to blistering cold temperatures there in Missouri. God forbid it goes below 40.
Here's the question: you guys all say this that they buried SmackDown. They didn't. Did they book themselves into a quarter? Yes. But at the end of the day, if SmackDown would get their head out of their ass and stop using a 50-year-old man to jump around the ring to be their best in the world superstar, you wouldn't have this problem. One, they put Brock Lesnar, which was the Universal Champion. You physically can't bury Brock Lesnar. They won't do it. They will not do it.
It wouldn't have been burying him, though, if Bryan barely beat him.
But that's part of the problem. But that's part of the problem. That's part of the whole problem.
Okay, so then here. So you give it. So okay, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Ronda Rousey can't lose at that point. So the best point is Becky Lynch is not the new Charlotte Flair is not the new Becky Lynch. Charlotte Flair is now the evil girl, the evil heel, and Becky Lynch is now the Stone Cold Steve Austin that plays like the cocky asshole, but is not a bad guy. She was never working as the bad guy, and now everybody cheers her when she comes out. She is the man. She is the Stone Cold Steve Austin. She's the hottest thing in wrestling, so you need an evil person to go up against her, and Charlotte's a perfect counterpart. Braun Strowman can't be beat in a match. He is too strong. You literally have to do all those moves and kick him out.
Talk to Lesnar about that.
Except the fact
they just can't. They booked themselves into a corner, but it was the perfect night.
Except that with Braun Strowman, they keep making Braun Strowman look weak by having that dumb douchebag Baron Corbin, who shouldn't even be a wrestler. He's so bad as a wrestler.
I agree.
Beat him up twice. It's
with
absolute
garbage. With other people.
Absolute garbage. You make the strongest person on your roster kick the shit out of everybody, and you make Baron Corbin beat him up twice. Blah. Sucks. I'm
not gonna lie. I was a fan of Baron Corbin whenever he was in NXT. I had a lot of promise for him whenever he joined, but he's I haven't.
The best thing that
I am like a polar bear. I'm sorry, Sandy, go ahead.
The best thing they could have done is have freaking what's his pickle? Why can't I remember his name? I'm just losing. Irish, Scottish.
Sheamus.
No.
So you're a tough fella.
No.
How would you like to go for a fourth?
Drew McIntyre. The best thing they could have done is put Drew McIntyre smacking him around the head and then do that feud for a couple of months but Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman in a tables and ladders and chairs match? Are you kidding me? It should be a 2-second match. Braun in there, throw him against the table, smash him, and done. Get these hands, and then walk out. That's all. Baron is an absolute waste of space. Can't believe they give him so much TV time. I hate him.
So the thing that I was going to bring up is that I am sort of like a polar bear when it comes to WWE. I will often hibernate 3 weeks after WrestleMania. I'll stop watching, and then it's usually a week before Survivor Series. I'm like, okay, trying to start watching wrestling again because this gets interesting, and then I'll watch you, and then I'll just watch until like 3 weeks after, see all these reveals and the call-ups, and then I usually go back into hibernation.
I won't even watch. It's the best night.
It's one of the best nights ever. Malcolm.
The one that I was going to bring up about the Charlotte Ronda Rousey match. This is something I've heard. I don't know if it's true, but from what I've heard, is a lot of people were booing that match just because Becky Lynch wasn't in it. That was one of those things that I heard is like, booing a match just because your favorite wrestler's not in it is stupid, because it's not WWE's fault that she got injured anyway.
No, it's Nia's.
It's not necessarily who. Yes, she was the one that did, but it's just one of those things you never really know for sure. She may have had some sort of underlying injury as well that Nia aggravated, but it's one of those ones like
stop. Maybe she jacked her in the face, and she's a reckless wrestler, and everybody.
She is.
To quote one of the greatest Canadian sports broadcasters ever, Jay Onright, that's using your face.
I'm even gonna groan about that one.
You need to get up.
So with that said, let's move into the debate portion. Oh, sorry, Malcolm.
I was about to say, I think Canada needs to get some new sports broadcasters.
Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole are a gift to the sports broadcasting gods, and you monkeys over at Fox Sports One. Really? So you're more of like a Rod Smith, Darren Detition.
No. I'm gonna tell you right now. Jay and Dan were really good 7 years ago. And then when they sold out and went to the States, they absolutely tanked because nobody got their sense of humor, and they scuttled back with their tails between their legs, and they have never been the same since. No.
I will agree. They were awesome in their prime. I will say though, the person that I find the most compelling is Vic Rauter, because that guy can make like curling.
How do we get off topic so bad?
Hey, Matt.
Welcome to Late
Hunter, Abe. Hunter. What the fuck are we talking about? Again, sign my petition, and we don't.
Brooklyn's
have to sit
just saying words right now. I didn't say a single word the entire segment, so I bought my Creed 2 ticket, so there was that. I did that during that segment.
I love that turns.
That's Maddie. You know why we're brothers? I'll tell you why. Because I was doing the exact same thing during the news. Was ordering my Creed 2 ticket.
I was like, because there was at no point, which I understand why Brooklyn does. I didn't watch Survivor Series, but I just love like at a certain point I was like, oh, he's really not gonna throw it to me. Okay, I guess there's stuff I can do.
I wasn't gonna throw it to you, but I mean,
all right.
It's good to see that movie tickets are. This is a prime time to get them. So let's move into the debate portions. But I have good. It's almost 2:00 here. So I have good news and I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that I am stepping into the ring. And the good news as well, because this isn't really bad news, is that Sandy Robinson is taking over today. He is our master debater. So, Sandy, take it away.
That is actually very good news that I'm not debating because I blow hourly like Cody. All right, so I love you, Cody. All right, so I have 5 questions. So who do we have that is debating? Brooklyn, Matt. Who gets champions advantage? Does anybody get champions advantage, or
Cody gets champions advantage?
Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up my handy dandy.
So hard today.
So there's Abe is just doing his thing, right? So
Abe is just being Abe.
No, I can judge.
Okay. So we'll say okay. Never mind. I'll let Sandy do his thing.
All right. So who was on this panel? Who was I believe Cody or no? Matt was the last champion, right?
Was the more recent champion.
More recent champion. Okay. So Matt, I'm going to get you to pick a number between 1 and 4.
2.
All right, and Brooklyn.
We are number 1.
All right, and Malcolm.
4.
All right, and Hunter.
What's the last number?
Tough decision there.
It's 3.
What? Really?
It's 3. So that means all right. So that means we have Hunter versus Malcolm and Matt versus Brooklyn. So because Matt is the former champion, the most recent former champion. Matt, you can pick between questions 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 to debate against Brooklyn.
Go with question 4.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. All right. Are you guys ready? So we're doing. So what is it? It's
20-second openers, 15-second rebuttals. Whoever speaks first, whoever answers first speaks first.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
But is he the former champion? So is it going to start with Hunter and Malcolm?
It's going to start with Hunter and Malcolm. So you guys have 4 right now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Malcolm to pick another number, not 4, between 1, 2, 3, and 5.
1.
You took mine.
Ooh, okay. All right. I just have to get my little handy dandy clock out because I'm going to be like Cody and hammer you guys.
not to be confused later tonight where it gets out his handy dandy.
Shit.
I'll let you guys fill it. I'll let you guys fill in that blank.
Cody's confused. He's just confused. All right.
It's penis.
Here's your question. Oh, Matt, did they just give you that book?
Who the fuck started out?
It's already a gong show. It's like
that was well done,
it's
Matt.
Like 1 a.m.
Yeah, I'm tired as hell.
You can't complain about time. It is 20-2 here.
Who's complaining? I'm just
all right.
It's 27 in the evening.
I'm tired as shit.
All right. We got to get to the debates because we're not going to get through. All right. Your question is, Hunter and Malcolm, pick a wrestler to lead your team. Can be active, inactive, alive, or dead, and why they would be the better leader for your Survivor Series team.
Ooh.
Andre the Giant.
Ooh, that's good. Randy Orton.
All right.
Look at his face.
I'm glad I'm not judging.
All right, so
you want to judge?
Malcolm, you were first with Andre the Giant. Your 20-second opening statement starts whenever you talk.
I mean, Andre the Giant's literally the best person to lead. He's really not easy to take down at all. Like he's definitely got a size advantage. I mean, Randy Orton, he's good, but I mean, he's literally impossible to get that far. The only way he'll do is if he leaps off top rope and does it.
All right, Hunter, you start your 20 seconds as soon as you talk.
When you think of someone to lead a Survivor Series team, you want someone who has experience in the match itself. Randy Orton has been in 5 and has won 4 of the 5. He has led teams to victories before. Yes, Andre is big. He's tall. He's a monster. But Orton's team would strategize a way to take him down.
Time. All right, Malcolm, your rebuttal starts. Your 15-second rebuttal starts when you start talking.
Experience in the Survivor Series match itself does not mean anything. You can be the most experienced person in the Survivor Series match and still lose. Andre the Giant's size is definitely one of reason that
time. All right, Hunter, same with you. 15 seconds starts when you start talking.
Yes, size is important, but also brain and wrestling ability. Randy Orton has all of it. He is one of the students of the game for a reason. He will strategize a way to have everybody get up against Andre, take him out first, and then just pick the rest of them.
All right. Good debate, guys.
That was a great question. That was
a good question.
You wait till you hear the rest of them. That was my first one.
Who would you rather lead a team, Cena or Hogan?
Bull.
No, that's not on there.
Thank you so much.
All right, so who do we have voting today? We got Brooklyn and Matt, and is Abe gonna vote?
So you want to say so? Just as a suggestion, do you want to say Abe just votes in place of Sandy, and then Sandy can just sort of like do the questions time and stuff? But I don't know. That's just a suggestion.
I'm judging. Like I wrote everybody's points, so honestly, I don't know anything about the WWE.
I don't know.
I mean, I know more about wrestling, so if you want to have
let's have Sandy as a judge, and then we'll have Abe be like the peanut gallery. He'll be like the Statler Waldorf of the debates.
You can be a tiebreaker.
There won't be a tie because there's only 3 of us voting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. It's late. I know do the math good.
You're good.
Thanks
All
for
right.
abandoning me in Burbank. This is what I got.
All right, so Matt, we're going to go with you first. You're going to vote first. Who had the better argument?
Oh, here's the thing. Both of the openings, I feel like, on both of their ends were a little rickety. Malcolm, and I get it because I've been there too. Once Sandy started counting you down, your rebuttal just got a little messy, and you didn't hit what I wanted you to hit, where sadly Hunter kind of just swayed me over to explain why he'd be a better leader. If you could have just gotten something more in about Andre, which I know you were going for, I think you definitely could have won it for me, but sadly I have to give Hunter the point.
Sadly.
All right. Brooklyn, how would you vote on this one?
Pretty easily giving it to Hunter. Malcolm, you had a lot of potential in your rebuttal. I was waiting for you to bring up something about like where Randy has been more so a side piece. He has always been that one to come in and save the day. I think you were just more so stuck on Andre's size, and that I was waiting. And I know Cody's gonna fucking hate whenever I say this, but it's like if you're gonna be like experience doesn't matter in Survivor Series, I need to hear an example of that so that it's just like you have some. Because once again, it's easy to say shit like that. It's whenever you have the information behind you.
And my vote wouldn't have counted, but my vote would have went to Hunter as well. All right,
I'd have voted for you, Malcolm.
Liar.
For you.
That's all. I wouldn't have voted for me. And with that, I actually have to run off. So.
Okay, cool. Malcolm, where can the kids go and find you? Right, quick.
You can find me on Take 3, where I host my show Rankum. Next week is Harrison Ford movie performances. You can find me on Full Metal and Multiplex competing in matches, and you can find me on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Stardust at Melkor.
All right. Cheers, and once again, thanks for coming on.
That's all right.
You can judge now.
So now Aiden is judging.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Matt and Brooklyn, are you guys ready for your question?
I don't know, Malcolm.
Yeah,
I'm a little afraid.
Yeah, Matt's guaranteed points are not there anymore.
God fucking damn it. Can we wait for Malcolm to come back?
No.
Oh.
All right, here's your question. The Authors of Pain and the Bar are the current tag champs in each division. Who, from any era, would be the greatest tag team of all time?
Hulk Hogan and John Cena.
Like, you have to be a current team, or they can pick any wrestlers to be the greatest team?
From any era.
Why am I blanking on their name? The Road Warriors.
Okay, Road Warriors.
Is that the Mad Max movie?
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Close.
So Matt came in first with a completely non-existent tag team ever in the history of tag teams, but we're gonna.
The way the question was laid out, it seems like you were supposed to create your own.
I will read you the question again.
Well, I have to, because I can change my answer to Mega Powers if that would be better. I could fight for the Mega Powers.
I would rather. Yeah,
I will fight for the Mega Powers. Then.
All right, Mega Powers it is.
All right. The Mega Powers versus Road Warriors.
You'll still probably go first because you said I don't know how that works.
Since it spoke first,
That's right. Matt spoke first. So Matt, your 20 seconds starts whenever you start talking for the Mega Powers.
Not rephrase, but just repeat the question.
I sure can. Yeah, absolutely. The Authors of Pain and the Bar are currently the tag champs in each of their divisions. Who, from any era, would be the greatest tag team champs of all time?
Okay. The thing about the Mega Powers is it's Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan. They're two of the most recognizable wrestlers of all time. Everybody loves them unless your name is Cody Newberry. These guys have charisma. They're great fighters, and everybody loves them. No one even remembers who the Road Warriors are unless you're Brooklyn.
Time. Wow, hot take right there. Wow, holy shit. All right, Brooklyn, your 20 seconds in defense of the Road Warriors starts whenever you start talking.
Road Warrior Animal, Road Warrior Hawk, the Doomsday Device, often considered one of the greatest tag team finishers ever. The Mega Powers, to quote the great Ozymandias reviews, are stuck in a fuck you, nah, fuck you, nah, fuck you deadlock. They're just trying to outdo one each other. They had no chemistry. They were only short-lived for a little bit so that they could get the hype. The breakdown was inevitable. Road Warriors have one of the greatest chemistries.
All right. There we go. Matt, your 15-second rebuttal starts whenever you start talking.
If you were to put the Mega Powers in a match today, do you know how many people would freak out and lose their shit? There are people who aren't even big wrestling fans who would go and watch this event because they love Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage that much. The Road Warriors are competing. There's only a couple of wrestler fans who would
All right, in Brooklyn, your rebuttal, and whenever you start talking.
So, quick problem with that. Macho Man Randy Savage is dead, and Hulk Hogan is just about there. Road Warriors are considered one of the greatest tag teams ever, along with Demolition, The New Day. The list goes on and on. You have that great shoulder pad spikes. You see them come out. You hear, oh, what a rush!
The correct choice is the Dudley Boys. You all are right.
I would even argue the Hardys over the Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys are the most decorated, but that's interesting. Oh, do you count the Road Warriors with Heidenreich? Because I do. Just so you know, that did happen. That did happen.
All right. So our voters are me, Abe, and Hunter. We will go to Abe first. Abe.
Okay. Someone was I was leaning through someone until they say something. They say his team was part of one of the greatest teams of all time, meaning their team, it's not the best, if not part of a group, and it's not unique. So I have to go with Matt because Brooklyn said that the Road Warriors are just part of the best teams. I don't know if that makes sense. He just...
No, it's okay. You gave me the point. It's fine.
Yeah.
Found me. They work how they work.
The reasoning is not needed, sir.
So I'll go with Matt. Matt had good arguments about the charisma and the technique of the wrestlers.
All right. Okay, so that's one vote for Matt, and we will go to Hunter.
Okay, I mean, I guess this is pretty much easy for me. I'm giving the point to Brooklyn. He brought up more of the of why the Road Warriors are the best tag team and gave me more reasons over Matt, who was just chemistry and size, which Vince McMahon might love that, but Brooklyn gave me more reasons why the Road Warriors were the...
Girls love that too.
So I guess that means it's up to me, even though I tried as hard as possible not to make this about me.
Piss off Canada or piss off Rhyme and Reason? It's your call.
I know, right? I know. What I'm gonna do. Freaking bands off this morning. So I give my point to Brooklyn. I thought the Mega Powers was a good pick. I just didn't hear enough of why they would be the greatest. I needed to hear more about less about why people would be excited to see them and more about why they would be the greatest tag team of all times. And I thought that Brooklyn brought up more points about the Road Warriors and what they were able to do for history. So in this thing, I'm sorry, Matt, I got to give it to.
I would have loved if you would have said. I would have loved if you would have said he's a racist and the one's dead. I would have died even more than I did.
So
all right, so we have Hunter.
I love you. This is such bullshit.
Matt.
I don't really give a fuck. I wasn't even planning on competing tonight, if you guys remember.
All right,
this is going to be a good match.
So we have 3 questions left. We have 2, 3, and 5. Cody, as champion, I would like you to pick the question for Hunter and Brooklyn, please.
3, 4, or 5.
2, 3, and 5.
2, 3, and 5. I'm gonna go with 2 for them.
Oh, okay.
Wait, 3, maybe 5. No, I'll go with 2. It's fine.
Not again.
I'll go with 2.
All right. Brooklyn and Hunter, are you ready for your question?
I am ready.
Who in your... No, sorry. I changed the question just in a nick of time. I'm not going to say that. Who had the biggest impact during the Attitude Era?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So now, do me a favor, because that was an absolute tie. I think you should say besides Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I was going to say.
That's just my opinion, because they were.
I'm pretty sure that was a tie. It was pretty dead on. So
on point.
Okay, so I am going to do that. I am going to. Your question will be now. I'm going to say the question again, and then you guys answer. Okay. Who had the biggest impact during the Attitude Era, not named Stone Cold Steve Austin?
The Rock.
Okay, so we got 2.
Yeah, I don't know who got it first, though.
I think Hunter did, but
yeah, I heard Brock first, and it's Rock versus
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley.
Okay.
All right, guys. You know how it goes. 20 seconds for your intro. Let's Hunter, you started first. You've got The Rock. 20 seconds starts when you start talking.
When you think of the Attitude Era, you think of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the guy who had the most charismatic, who was the most fun guy to watch, who could write a promo, who could say a promo better than anybody in the world could at that time. He was one of the mainstays of the Attitude Era.
Time. All right, Brooklyn, same for you. 20 seconds when you start talking.
When you think of the Attitude Era, you think of high risk, high reward. What is one of the more highlights of Attitude Era? It is Hell in a Cell, when Undertaker is being thrown by Mick Foley off the top of the Hell in a Cell. Attitude Era is more about going to greater heights. The Rock is a great charisma, great character, but that era of wrestling does not go more to ruthless aggression.
Time. Rude.
How rude.
Not allowed.
All right, Hunter, you got a 15-second rebuttal, and your time starts when you start talking.
Attitude Era was more than just high risk, high reward. It was about giving these athletes personalities and making them shine and letting them be themselves. Who did it better than The Rock? Who could do it in the ring and on the mic?
All right, Brooklyn, your 15-second rebuttal.
The Rock was at his best and only at his best whenever he was feuded against Stone Cold Steve Austin. You could pair up Mick Foley with anybody. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Rikishi, Undertaker, Chainsaw Charlie against or a tag team. Mick Foley could go with anybody in the Attitude Era and either got over. And yeah.
No.
All right.
Professional.
Okay, so I am going to go first this time. I'm going to give my point to Brooklyn. Brooklyn spent more time actually answering the question, which was who would be, who in the Attitude Era. I heard more about the Attitude Era from Hunter instead of about why The Rock was the best Attitude Era person. So my vote goes to Brooklyn this round. Let's go to Matt.
I'm giving my point to Brooklyn as well. He just had a stronger opening and rebuttal. Hunter's opening was just a little like he's trying to find his footing, and which I understand, but Brooklyn was just really strong throughout the whole day.
All right. Thanks very much for that, Matt. Abe, your vote would not have counted, but how would have went on that one?
Then why would I say it?
Because that's the name of the game.
Oh, I would have gone into Hunter.
All right.
He knows who Dwayne Johnson is.
That's right. All right. So we have our final two: the champion versus one of the former champions, Brooklyn Vale versus Cody Newberry. So we have 2 questions left. The champ, you can choose between number 3 or number 5.
I'm gonna go with 5.
Okay. All right, guys, here's your question. With the explosion of the women's division, what past or present superstar would be the best ever all-around performer?
Trish Stratus.
Okay, we got another tie.
Tie.
All right. With the explosion of the women's division, what past or present superstar would be considered the best overall performer not named Trish Stratus?
Lita.
Oh my gosh.
I heard Cody first, if that makes any difference.
I did get it out first. I
Cody
finished Lita completely
before Brooklyn.
I think we should
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go to question 3 then. I don't care. Fine. If that's what you... I mean, I can go with another wrestler too.
No, we'll just do question 3.
Okay. I was really proud of that question too.
I do. Yeah. I really liked it. I had a full argument for both.
Well, you're not going to like this one. Actually, you might. You might actually like this one. Okay. So, no. All right. Both you ready? If Hulk Hogan never existed, who would have been the face of the company in the 80s?
Macho Man.
Ricky the Steamboat Dragon.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Can you say that one more time? Ricky the Dreamboat's Dragon.
Ricky the Steamboat.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Ricky the Dragon
Steamboat. Wow. You know what I meant?
Not really.
This is getting hot.
God.
Way more than my crush.
Rematch.
All right. I love that you guys picked two wrestlers that were feuding against each other for a long time. So that's going to be a good battle. Cody, you did speak up first, so your 20 seconds starts whenever you start talking.
The big thing about the 80s was the promos and the wrestling skills, and Macho Man had both. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat only had wrestling. That was his main thing. He did not have a mic skill. He even had managers to help him throughout the entire run of his career. Macho Man could have took that spotlight, ran with it. The better choice for you would have been Roddy Piper versus Macho, but Macho's the better overall.
Oh man, Rowdy versus. Oh.
All right, Brooklyn. 20 seconds when you start talking.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is the more technically sound wrestler. You harp on the point of beating managers. One of your boys, Brock Lesnar, leans on Paul Heyman for that promo style. Managers have been used throughout the ages. Bobby the Brain Heenan is one of the greatest managers ever for that reason. Ricky the Steamboat Dragon is a more technical wrestler. Macho Man has such an ego.
Dragon.
You don't even know how to say his name.
All right, Cody, your 15 seconds starts whenever you start talking.
We're not talking about current. We're talking about 80s. 80s was the man of the promo. Eat your vitamins, say your prayers. That was Hogan. The closest to him was Macho Man. The promos and the in-ring skills, they liked the big guys back then, and he even had aerial moves that could shine to the top. He even made Ricky's best matches with Macho. Macho's a better wrestler.
All right, Brooklyn.
The problem with Macho Man Randy Savage is he's running the same problem with Hulk Hogan, where his ego ruins that company. Look what Hulk Hogan did later with WCW and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Ricky Steamboat, you have a class, you have a person of class, a person of respect. You drive that company to the top with one of your most respectable athletes, a true role model.
time. All right. So this is the championship match. And we're going to go over to Matt first. Matt.
I hate doing this, but Cody was just so he won it in both. He just explained why Macho Man would be the best face. I think he harped on the fact that like it's not just about like being a great wrestler in the ring. It's also all the other stuff that would make you the face, and that Brooklyn just you didn't fight that enough in your opening or rebuttal for me about what you got it like at the very end, but Cody just had it the whole way through.
All right, and we will go over to our guest, Hunter. Hunter, who won this battle in Europe? Well, who won this battle based on the argument?
Well, based on the argument, it's got to be Cody. I heard way too many good points on Cody's end of why in the 80s. Now the question is in the 80s, and that's what Cody focused on. Brooklyn was all over the place with modern age and all this that he kind of got off topic at some points. Cody managed to stay on point.
Okay. My vote wouldn't have counted, but I would have voted for Brooklyn. No. Cody won that one. I really wanted to see. I wanted Brooklyn to come up with something about the managers because Cody brought it up, and I don't think Savage didn't ever not have a manager in his career.
Yeah,
he was Miss Elizabeth, Sensational Sherry. He had a manager all the time. So I wanted to hear some
piece. Not a talking piece.
Just another piece. So for those reasons, Brooklyn, I am unfortunately give my point that didn't count to Cody. So our champion for the 450th time in a row is Cody, the wrestling man, Newberry.
And this is not sounding cocky at all. I think that was one of the better arguments I've ever put out. I knew that era really well, and I was able to attack it. And it's the same thing that took Robert down when he debated me. I think Brooklyn focused too much on the modern times instead of like focusing pure 80s, and I think he picked the wrong wrestler, way wrong wrestler, because back then. Yeah, the face of the 80s was literally just, let me tell you something, brother. Hulkamania gonna run wild, and Macho didn't turn heel till like WrestleMania, like 5, 4.
Five. Yeah.
5.
So powers explode.
I mean, everybody. I think Brooklyn thinks he won that one, and that's okay. I get the same way when I do debates. I think that I had a great argument, but I'm happy to be champion, and next week's going to be my topic, so that's really cool. So it's not next week; it's the week after. Okay, that's cool. So yeah.
Well, all right, that was our debating, and I'm going to pass it back over to the host of Late Night with Take 3, and Brooklyn, take it away.
Cody, how do you really feel?
Oh!
What do you mean?
How do you really feel? Like, you won. So
I think this is exciting because I'm probably going to lose in dance off to either you, Luca, or you. So yeah, it was fun to win again. This is the first time that another question writer has come in and I've actually won. So Sandy, you're able to do your job whenever you want. Those were fantastic wrestling questions. I loved every single one of them. I wish I could battle Brooklyn on like the women's thing because that would have been an interesting one, but we both have the same people in mind, so it was impossible. I'm just so glad Hulk Hogan came up, but I got to replace him with somebody, so appreciate that. But yeah, I always enjoy the show. I think this is a great show. I know Brooklyn's kind of defeated or upset because I'm the monkey that can't get off his back because he can't seem to beat me yet, but it will come. He's already been a champion, but it hasn't been to me. So one day.
Cool. So we're at 2 hours. We're gonna wrap it up.
Oh, really?
Seriously, we're at 2 hours.
No,
we've done 2.5, and you're real salty.
We're at 2 hours. We like to. Okay. I seriously like to keep things at a nice consistent pace. If you want the show, you can run it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Abe Flores, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
You can find me after this show seeing some more arguments, but watch Gone with the Wind every Thursday, Friday, where Manny, myself, Malcolm, and sometimes a guest review the Oscar race. Where this week we'll be talking about Creed 2, Widows, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and a ton more shit. And follow me on Twitter at AbrahamF25. And I don't know who you are, Dominic Ricci.
To Hunter Chambliss, guest coming on today. Once again, thanks for coming on. And where can the cool kids of the world find you?
You guys can find me over at my YouTube channel, Film Nerd TV. You guys can check out the Week of Wrestling podcast, where myself and Nico Suave-Rigoli talk everything that happened in the world of wrestling. And also check out Combat Zone Wrestling Trivia, which the last match with our own Sandy Sandman Robinson took on Nico Suave-Rigoli.
Actually, really excited for that league. Matt Kearns, where can the whole kids of the world find you?
At Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, Matt Movies 611 on YouTube, and right here as co-host of Rhyme and Reason. Part 2 of our Star Wars discussion is going up this Saturday. That's pretty much it. You can also find me here on Late Night. And next week on Rankum, my topic, Top 12 Harrison Ford performances. Be there. It's going to be awesome. Me and Cody might actually agree on stuff on that. I don't know. We might.
Fellow Canadian and great guy all around, Sandy Robinson, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
Well, as always, Brooklyn, thanks for having me on today. I really, really do love being here. Everybody can find me on Facebook and at Twitter at srobinson1799. You can also find me all over Full Metal Trivia, singles teams. Geek is doing awesome with Cody over there doing his best awesome job in Geek. You can find me all over Multiplex. You can find me with Hunters, Combat Zone. You can find me here, Take 3, as co-host with Matt Kearns of Rhyme and Reason, that drops every Saturday. Part 2, like he said, of our Star Wars discussion was awesome. And you can see me here as long as I am welcome on Late Night with Take 3. Thank you so much for having me. I had such a great time. It's late.
And to our champion, I'm not even going to say the full title anymore. Cody, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
Gosh, I think Salt Lake moved to freaking Canada. Damn, you one salty SOB tonight. Learn how to debate better and you won't bitch so much. All right, you can find me on watch-alongs with me and Robert Parker, where we're going to watch Princess Bride on the following week. You can find me on Thursdays. What'd you say?
He said, "What happened to Linus?"
Oh, he's never shown back up. We changed the locks. Thursday, you can maybe find me here. Brooklyn may kick me off the show because he wants to be champion. I'm not sure. Fridays, you can find me on Full Metal Geek. Sundays, you can find me as the grumpy old man in the corner that argues with everybody. And you can find me backing my client, Robert the Hobbit Parker, in all things trivia related. And he's a champion. I'm a champion. So if you join my faction, you can become a champion too, Brooklyn, except for you.
And you can be referred to as clients because that is all you are to Cody. You are another brick in the wall. To quote somebody, sorry, that's Pink Floyd, Cody. I'm not sure if you're aware of Pink Floyd and the great things that they
I'm not sure you know what the Black is and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
I am the Black Lantern, Brooklyn Vale. You can find me right here. I think the Productions running not one but two shows. Jukebox Trivia on Mondays where we do various music trivia, podcasts, and countdowns. Be sure to check out the episode that we dropped last Monday where it was Kelko versus Matthew Rosa and our dance off off Journey to the Crown. It is a very loud match, so be sure to check that out. Also, right here on Thursdays, Leyland Take 3, a various topical podcast show where we cover various different things. Be here to check out our episode next week, episode number 55, where we'll be covering favorite boxing movies with Creed coming out this weekend. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at TheRealBK10, the number of the words, and on Multiplex and Full Metal doing various things. In Multiplex, I had a movie Warzone match against Matthew Rosa, and on Full Metal, I had a random match against Mr. Lucas, brother of Jeremy Adams, in a Nintendo Iron Man match. It was actually pretty fun. And yeah, you can find me losing everywhere. I am the Black Under Broken Veil. That is Abe. That is Cody. That is Hunter. That is Matt. That is Sandy. Cheers, guys. And as always,